join from the Facebook groups, but if you inbox in the Facebook chat, it works. So it's always some mysteries around joining and sharing in the social media channels. It's an ongoing work to find out. Okay, yeah, just we have Bcash. I don't know your real name, but do you hear us? Hello? Hello? Let's see if he's there. Okay, Henning is so happy New Year to you, Henning, and looking forward to see more about your work, and it's very interesting there.
Thank you very much, Bertola. Happy New Year to you and everyone else.
Thanks.
How do I leave this?
Well, it's up in the middle. You see a red telephone. Okay, now I found out. So it's like a practice to be in these webinars as well. It's a good social media practice. Just to have a discussion, I think, around what's going on is good exercise. You get both some type of experience to discuss online, but also finding out different tools and always some new valuable insights and new concepts that emerge. So it's a pretty good update. And like Fedor said before, we were discussing Edcast, the channel that Carl Meta started in San Francisco there. It's a more focused platform on knowledge sharing. And in this extreme noise that's going on in social media, I guess there's an important space to also build these tools that are more specific and can fulfill the functions or be more specific onto the topics here. Maybe you, Fedor, has something to say to that for people. I guess we are live now, so maybe Fedor can, who is on the vacation, by the way, maybe could add something around.
Yeah, so do you want me to introduce myself, or do you want me to talk about AdCast specifically?
Yeah, maybe a little bit for both, because now we are live and before people...
Sure. Yep. So hello everyone, my name is Fyodor Ovchinnikov, and I live in Oakland, United States right now, originally from Russia, and my organization is called Institute for Evolutionary Leadership. And we teach leaders how to mobilize themselves and others to redesign cultures and institutions for a more just, sustainable, and flourishing world. So we have a competency-based approach to leadership. We have competencies that we develop, we help leaders develop, including some established ones like systems thinking, and also some less known ones like ontological design, for example. This is based on a few decades of work of our team, including my co-founder Manuel Menga, who's been working on national level projects in Colombia, Guatemala, and other countries. And also, it's we started just a year ago as an organization, and we've been offering some open enrollment programs and are teaching as part of curricula of other organizations. And next year for us is a big move towards online aspect. That's why we've been looking for a good platform to share our knowledge online. And our choice currently is AdCast, is a startup, but a very promising and rapidly growing startup that aims to connect people who want to share knowledge and who wants to learn in one platform. So it's specifically about knowledge sharing, not cute cats, not only professional updates of people like LinkedIn. It's only educational content, and they have online university or knowledge management platform, and they have a knowledge sharing network, and there is the reinforcing feedback loop between the two, which means that online courses are marketed to people who are sharing knowledge in the social network mode, and people who join the courses usually have this, usually actively participate in creating their content. So actually, it makes discussions and knowledge exchange among the participants of online courses more active, and also at the same time more focused. We will be trying this starting in April, because we already have our presence in the knowledge sharing network, but currently we're working on online courses that we plan to launch in April this year, or next year. And at the same time, we want to, because there is a challenge with AdCast, because it's a startup. So we try to build presence in other different places, like Facebook, for example, and we have strong presence on Facebook. But the more we try knowledge sharing network, the more sense we see in posting links to AdCast on Facebook, so that people can actually tap into the educational content. So it's a kind of a one window shop for them for all our articles that we share, for example. Because there are Facebook groups. Some Facebook groups are amazing for sharing educational context, so it's organically merging within the Facebook network. But it's still, first of all, there is a lot of noise, as Bertola said, and secondly, not everybody is on Facebook for the sake of the reputation that Facebook has. So I recall I contacted someone on Facebook. It was work related, like education related, and she said, "Oh, hey, actually, I use this only to talk to my kids." Right? So there is this kind of brand that Facebook has that sometimes prevents people from taking it seriously. And AdCast has a very different brand policy, right? So it's specifically for people who want to exchange knowledge, who want to learn, who want to share knowledge, and that's why we're very excited to explore it, and we'll see how it actually works, right? So adcast.com and adcast.org. That's something that we're exploring.
Yeah, great. Also, maybe for people who are not in San Francisco region and Silicon Valley, maybe you can tell a little bit about the dynamics of Oakland and what you see is happening there. It's quite interesting environment. I have noticed myself over the years. We have visited SOCAP and Silicon Valley.
Yeah, sure. I wouldn't talk about the whole like the Silicon Valley specifically, because I've been more focused. I've been more grounded in Oakland. So what I've noticed is the interest that the Silicon Valley people have to Oakland right now and the Oakland approaches. That's why. So some of you might remember, some of you who came to the Silicon Valley with the NordicsGoSocap might remember that one of the speakers that we presented to you in Oakland was actually a woman from the Silicon Valley, a seasoned Silicon Valley entrepreneur and consultant who actually moved to Oakland for her new project because Oakland has this incredible social diversity and new approaches to social entrepreneurship that are grounded in social experiences, in social justice movements, and in hard-based approaches that is sometimes missing in Silicon Valley. So it's a very different culture that we have in Oakland, and now it's getting global recognition for its effectiveness in redesigning cultures and institutions. Just bringing the right, I would say, ingredients to the mix. And we act as a community, as an ecosystem. It's more collaborative than competitive, because Silicon Valley is very competitive. Oakland is more collaborative. We have seen recently rise of cooperative movement. There is now a whole ecosystem being built around that, with business accelerators becoming cooperative. So everybody owns a tiny little bit of everybody else's business. Not necessarily cooperatives, by the way. So, and financial resources specifically for cooperatives are being offered more and more often. There are law firms specializing in cooperatives and social entrepreneurship. So there is this very exciting movement there in Oakland, and also international cooperation, because Oakland has historically been very local, and there is still the strong grounding in localist movement, and at the same time we've seen some growth in establishing relationships with different countries and learning specifically between learning happening specifically between Oakland and other countries. So, for example, the event that we hosted with the Nordics there, we call it global in a way that even financially, because we used local currency to host international group, which I think is very exciting. So yeah, there are some very interesting things going on there. Oakland has been strong, particularly in social justice aspect. And at the same time, we have places like Berkeley, just 10 minutes from Oakland. And we also have the North Bay, Marin County, and Petaluma, Sebastopol, famous places for sustainability. And now we are kind of integrating all these aspects together in one ecosystem, with Oakland leading the social justice and the social aspect, and also bringing environmental aspects from other countries and technological aspect from the Silicon Valley. And now we see this emergence of very interesting ecosystems that attract international interest. So I would say this would be my update.
Excellent.
That's very great. Great. Maybe Noemi here from Philippines, who didn't hear you initially, if you tell a little bit about your story there and what you're doing. I think you can still hear us, and let's see if it works there. Tell about what you're doing and the background of the organization.
Hi, Bert. Can you hear me now?
Perfect. So tell me the story.
All right, thank you. So currently, we are very interested with social entrepreneurship. Yeah, but this is the first time that we are going to incorporate this term to our institution. So currently, our first project is at a solar panel, and based on the research that we made, it's very costly right now. Hello?
Hello, we can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, yes. So this is the main problem here. We would like to market the solar panel, but unfortunately, we cannot afford the price and everything. So that's my concern, basically.
But can you tell me what are you doing in the organization, and what is it about?
All right. So the organization is, I think I need to write the website here.
Yeah, you can
All
share
right.
the website there, but you can tell them briefly what you are, what is the mission and what are the activities and where are you located, by the way. I think I said Philippines, but a little bit more specific.
Yeah. So did you get? I have written already the website.
Mm-hmm.
So that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
There. So currently our first project is the solar panel, and based on the research that we made, this is very costly here in Manila. We are here in Manila, so that's our main concern.
Yeah.
If there's a way that we could have, or I mean, we could import in a cheaper price, that would be great.
Mm. And what are you doing? What is the organization about?
All right. So the organization, we are providing free education for both girls and boys. I mean, the secondary schools. So we have free shelter, free food, free medicines. Everything is free.
Okay,
All right.
and what is the group? Who are there? How do you organize the school? Is it a voluntary school or?
No, there are so many good people who are supporting us all over the world. So this is not a voluntary school, but I mean the students right after their graduation, right after their secondary graduation, they are very eager to know. They are very interested with the social entrepreneurship. So currently we are studying the solar panel because the Philippines, I mean we only have 2 seasons here, the dry season and the wet season. So we have 6 months of dry season here. So the solar panel is very effective if we are going to market it here.
Mm. And what would you sell the solar or using it for your own energy?
Both. We can do both.
Okay, okay. And what are you using right now?
Right now we are depending on the grid. I mean on the
Mm.
power from the we call it Meralco here.
Okay, okay. And do you see a market where you could sell this around Manila or what parts of Philippines?
Yeah, definitely nationwide.
Okay. There is what is the market look like right now in the Philippines? Is it coming or is it early stage or
In the early stage.
and the companies are they local, they who are active right now or are they from other countries or
Based on the research that we made, the companies who are selling it right now, they all we heard, or yeah, based on the research, they also imported it from we don't know exactly.
okay.
Can I say something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, hi, Nama. The thing is like in the solar panels, there is a two segment. One is like the solar cell, which is the really expensive and the main part of the solar panel, and the rest one is the body, which include the the solar chips as well, like the solar plates.
Mm.
So
Yes, we
when
know that.
yeah, so once you like if you want to manufacture the solar panels in your country, you have to
No, we don't
you
want to manufacture. Currently, we don't have any capability to manufacture it.
Yeah, but like you for no the for the solar cells you have to depend on the different countries for the import because the solar cells is available in only limited countries like Australia, Germany, or somewhere in US. But the rest of the things, the body and the solar chip, you can manufacture easily in your country. that will enhance the employment and the manufacturing level as well. Because the rest of the product, the rest of the body, including the body as well as the including the solar chips or the solar panels, excluding the solar cells, that will you can easily manufacture in Philippines. And once if you start manufacturing in Philippines, that will cost very cheap to you.
All right. Yeah. Thank you for the idea, Lalit.
Yeah, maybe you could exchange some information later. For people who don't know about your business and your ideas, Lalit, maybe you could tell a little bit about your status and what you're doing.
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Lalit Gautam, 26-year-old from Jaipur, which is known as the Pink City from India. And I graduated in pharmaceutical sciences and then MBA in international marketing and finance. And after jobs, I started a social startup, Handscart.com. Handscart.com is an online platform. It's an e-commerce site for the artisans and from the artisan and to the artisan. Like basically, the idea behind the Handscart is like to connect the artisans. Not only from India, from the other different countries like Africa or maybe in the Latin America or some and the other Asian countries. The reason, like if you ask me like what is the difference between a normal marketplace or normal e-commerce site and the Handscart, so I'm telling you, like if you come to India, you will find the artisans, the basic artisans are very illiterate. They don't know how to use the smartphone or the internet. And most of the e-commerce site or most of the marketplace are doing like they are just buying and they are just procuring the product from the artisan and like directly selling on the different platform. So what I'm doing is like I created a special workshop, a schedule of the education to them, and I'm starting giving the basic skill training to them, and like that including the internet training as well as the other training like the designing, craft making, other things. And then I bring together, I'm connecting the artisan to the customers directly with the eliminating of middlemen and the commission agent between the artisan and the customers, and giving them platform to connect directly with the art lovers. And the second project is Vishwa.com. Vishwa means like the word. Word is the English term for the Vishwa, and Vishwa is all about the sustainable fabric, like which take the less water, which take the less energy to stitching. And this fabric is the local fabric which made in different villages of India, different villages of South America like Peru, Ecuador, or Panama, or different countries. And with the help of this local weavers and the local the fabric manufacturers, I give them the European and American design, so they can easily available in that market. The third one is, as I told you, I'm planning to start something with the renewable energy by using the biomass or kind of the waste, plastic waste and the e-waste, on which I'm researching on this project, and maybe in the future I will start this one in 2016. Also a member of political party, and I'm the block coordinator for the Rajasthan, the state of mine, Rajasthan, where I'm just doing the research, the block research for them, and giving them a kind of detailed research project. From this, that help the political party to to find the right candidate for the election, for the block election. This is about me.
Okay, when do you sleep?
Around 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock.
Okay, that's an amazing story. How did you come in? It seems to me that you are building different parts of India and different parts from the democracy and to entrepreneurship. How did you come into this? Why did you start with these projects?
Yeah, actually, politics is my interest, is my first love. You can say my first love. But due to some kind of the political and the economic disturbance in India, like as you see in the India from your country, that is a different India, and when you reach here, you will find a different India. India is a country of 1,500 political parties. Like it's like it's a large number of party. And when you live here, when you see the if a prime minister is handling the or is competing with the 1,500 political party from the different region, from the different state, like there is a 3 4 party in each state, or not in each state, even in the each city. and then it's a very difficult to create a impact or to create a economic environment for the entrepreneurs or for the social things. And one more thing I would like to add, and which is the main thing, because in India, entrepreneurship is like very new segment, and especially the social entrepreneurship. And most of the NGOs, and most of the social startups, which working for the poor people, or which working for the social problem, are run by the government officials or by the rich people. And the problem is like when they are like if like when somebody like normal people like me or the youth like me start something NGO or some kind of social startup, they will facing the large force from the politics and from the different rich peoples. So it's really hard, it's really hard to work in this kind of environment. And 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 the one and the other thing is like that if you find there is a lots of you there is a there is a thousand of NGOs and the social startup, not the social startup, the NGOs is the right term. The NGOs are working for the poor people, but from the last 60 years, okay, from the last 60 years. But still, if you see there, if you go to the villages of India, you will find the condition of the villages. It's seem like which has happened in the last 60 years, okay. So what, where, and what, for where they are doing the social work. This is the question for the NGO, like from where you are, for whom you're doing the social work, if the condition of the villages or if the condition of poor is on the same level. So there is a there is a lots of issues and the lots of the problems in India, which connected, which is interconnected with between the politics and the entrepreneurship, and as well as with the social impact. So this is some brief observation of mine for India.
It's very interesting there. I think it opens up a lot of reflections, at least from me. I welcome you there in the Hangout to comment if you have some questions there. Or
Yeah,
some,
I would like to, I have some, I'm not, no, this is not a question, but I will request you and Feather and Noemi, everyone, Christiana, I just want like, first of all, for the Feather, I would like to, you raise and you increase your evolutionary leadership program to to the Asian countries, especially the India or Philippines or Vietnam, like this. And as well as for the Bartola, I would also like to to visit once in India, or to not even visit, you also increase your program as well, the impact journey to the countries which is facing the real issues. Because right now thing is this kind of impact journey is very very they are doing very good job in the part of the Nordic, or in the part of Europe and
yeah.
the US. So I would like to more and more, kind of a small platform, or kind of small hotspot of impact journey in the different country. Like, so like we can create a small hotspot in different country which help,
Yeah.
the impact journey as a whole.
Absolutely, and that will definitely happen. We are working on trying to expand, and one of the challenges there, I think most of the people in the Hangout would agree on, is of course both the time, and you get to work in a global world with all these opportunities, and to connect and to build, and like you do now, right now there, Lalit, with trying to fix different parts of the system takes some time. But I think we will definitely come to Asia in the coming months, and trying to find a model there how we can, in a clever way, work with different regions and connect them in a modern way with the social media platforms that are in a parallel way supporting the work, but also make it a bit complicated to choose or to take decisions on what platforms and what tools to use, and how to integrate all this. But we are in a quite good way, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add that for us specifically, we are looking forward to going to different places next year. So specifically, two most likely directions are Latin America and Scandinavia. And also the third one is China. But if you have any concrete specific ideas around India, I would love to talk about that next year. So.
Absolutely, and we already have some. We have SOCAP Forum, which is a bit similar to SOCAP platform, and they have event in both Africa and India and Indonesia every year. At least for the last year, they were at all places. So I think at least some of us, we can't travel all the time, all of us, but there are always some people who are attending some places. So if we can design clever collaboration and good networking, it's a lot of opportunities to integrate all this. So that's what we are working on a daily basis.
Yeah,
Noime, do you have something to add there? Can see if there are someone out there. We have been live now we have been active for 1.5 hours. I think we have been live for 30 minutes or something. So Anna, do you have something to add if you hear us? I'm not sure if she's live.
Hi. Yeah, I just harvested a little bit the links and shared it with the hashtag ImpactJourney on Facebook, so that we can find later, and also the date that everybody can.
Maybe that's something I could update on, that this is just the background there. ImpactJourney has developed out from another platform, LivingBridgesPLANET, which is more the network design. And the ImpactJourney, for you who don't know what it is, it's more like an ongoing process of activities like this. So we connect events and workshops and conferences and whatever that we could connect activities around, and we do it in a digital way often. And sometimes, and mostly, it's real local events we connect around, but not always. So it's also like today, just get around before New Year, and maybe time for reflection, and where a lot of people are waiting for the New Year weekend, at least the people who are celebrating that. And also we are in good progress of an activity list over the year. I think we have more or less 20-25 events that is already in planning for 2016. We will be, for example, in Kiev and Lithuania and Helsinki, and maybe in San Francisco in January, and we will be in Gran Canaria. And when I say we, it's people who organize it locally. We can be wherever here. We can sit like I do in Sweden right now, in North Sweden, but there are always people organizing different activities, and we connect it more together online. We will be in Africa for sure in February. Probably, as I said, they are in India. They will be in Oslo, in San Francisco, in Sweden, and probably in Paris and Finland again later in the autumn. So Dubrovnik, I guess York. So it will be a lot of opportunities to follow different activities and different fields of practice, from academic development, from different business practices, from startups, from sustainability point of view, from education, and different regions, as said. So it's more like a learning journey there, and based around what people like to do and what they like to hear. It's not that we have a specific program that we are pushing forward. It's more based on what the people want to hear. And hopefully we can find more tools that would amplify and make the collaboration more efficient. That's an ongoing work to find out. And I think it's also takeaway of the last 3 years that depending on the culture and the time zones and what people are used to, it requires, it's much more complicated to work in different time zones and different cultures than we were specifically working in maybe in Sweden or in India or in Germany or wherever, where people tend to have maybe 1 or 2 tools that people are used to. But here you really span different complexity. And that's sort of the challenge to design the interconnections around it. And Anna there is helping out and supporting a lot with designing all this great material there. She's working on, we have some Christer is joining in here. Oh, it was a long time. I tried to meet you in Stockholm 4 or 5 years ago, I think.
Yeah. Hey, Bartula.
Yeah, hello.
Hello,
So
hello.
Great to see you. So maybe you could add what you are doing and some amazing activities, I think.
Ooh, wow, well.
Or what are you doing?
Well,
Just before New Year.
I'm very much interested in biochar as a soil restoration and regeneration work. So it's about sequestering carbon, enhancing soil, increasing productivity through microbial activities. So I'm basically working very much locally here on Mallorca with the local community, and we've been doing that for 2 years. And I'm also involved in a project in Germany, outside of Berlin. And then, of course, I'm doing my consulting and coaching around sustainability and leadership. That's the short version.
For people who are not familiar with this field, can you explain a little bit about it? What is it?
Yeah, well, biochar is basically charcoal. It's basically regular charcoal. The 2 criteria that differentiate it from regular charcoal is that 1, it has to come from residue biomass, so from cuttings or organic waste, and 2, that the end use of this charcoal is to be in the ground, to be mixed with compost, manure, to enhance the fertility of the land. So what you do basically is you burn the biomass through a process called pyrolysis, which is a low oxygen burning. It's a very clean burn, and it creates tiny little cavities in the charcoal, and these cavities are like 5-star hotels for microorganisms, which is what makes the earth more productive, more rich, but also much more resilient. It also increases water retention, so it helps against drought. Yeah, and there's a number of advantages besides the obvious that it can create combined heat and power. So you're actually able to produce electricity with while you make biochar.
And how did it come that you moved down to Spain? Is it specifically good there, or what's the background there?
I grew up in Spain. I came to Spain when I was 6 years old, living in Madrid at the time, and then we moved back to Spain in 1973 from Thailand at the time. And my mother has been living here for the past 43 years soon. And I've lived here many times in between. My daughter was born here, so I'm very much at home here. That's the main reason, actually. And of course, it's a very nice climate, and they're very nice people.
Okay, okay, excellent. And where are you now in the setup? Is it a business model around it? Is it a social enterprise, or how do you run it?
Well, you know, I run it as a very informal community of interested parties, and basically there's no company behind it, there's no organization, there's no association. However, I'm looking into possible models to do this with the local government. We've been working with it for 2 years. It's gained slowly in popularity and the interest. The best thing here is that Sawyer, the valley where I live on the island, is like a bowl. So people are used to burning their, burning their leaves and their cuttings from mostly olive and citrus plantations, and so that creates a lot of smoke. And so they have a real health problem with all the smoke in the valley. And since biochar creates a very clean burn and has all these other advantages, that has caught the attention of the local community.
Excellent.
So is it okay? So hi, is it the same charcoal we can use in the cooking and the soups as well? Like, because in India we have a large quantity of charcoal using in the cooking and the soup
Yeah,
as well.
well, that's very interesting that you bring that up, because it's actually, well, there's so much to be said about this, and I don't want to take up too much time, but I can say that there are biochar burning cooking stoves which eliminate the smoke and create a soil enhancement additive which increases organic fertility of the soil. So it has lots of advantages, and my daughter Alexandra, who is now doing her master's in Germany, and the subject is sustainable land management. She, on her thesis for her bachelor's, she was in Rwanda for 5 weeks, and they were studying the possibility of making a project around biochar stoves. There's a number of stoves that do this, and there's also a very interesting economical model around this.
Okay, so like we will connect after the call. I have some questions regarding this because we did a workshop on the cooking charcoal and the soups charcoal, and there is a large number of quantity of charcoal we are using in India with for the
Yeah, I
different
mean,
purposes.
what you
Yeah.
bring up is really a key question, and I mean, I'm getting goosebumps when you're telling me this, because besides reducing the amount of biomass that you need to heat, you're also putting it back into the soil and increasing the productivity. Besides avoiding the smoke, in many of these homes, the big problem is the smoke pollution and the smoke related respiratory diseases.
Yeah, exactly. Like we are, like we actually, I was like I'm working with the artisans, so I was in a village in the south, and like that time, that time I realized actually I'm also a biological graduate, so that's why I know about the pyrolysis and all the all the mechanism. So that time, I was aware about the things we like the people, the villagers are using the different kind of the biomass in the stoves for cooking food and all.
Yeah.
And that time I realized to create a kind of stove, a kind of innovative stove with the use of no less or the no smoke charcoal.
Yeah.
And it, yeah, that's why.
Well, there's a really fantastic project in Rwanda. Let me see if I can find it. I think it's.
Yeah, there is a few, like one is the Pragati and the
Eric Reynolds. Let me see if I can find it. Inyenyeri. Yeah. Let me give you. I'll give you this link here. Where are we? There we are. This is an organization that has been very successful at introducing both the technology and the financial model to do this and reduce the amount of biomass, eliminate the smoke, and create the biochar as a side product for increased fertility. So basically what it means is that you eliminate the smoke hazard, you use up less of the biomass, so you cut down fewer trees, and then you put this biochar back into the soil together with other compost and manure, and you grow more biomass as a result. So it's truly a virtuous cycle.
Right. That's that's the thing I was talking about. Using the each and every composition of charcoal and the biomass.
Yeah.
Right.
But of course, what's important here is you're not burning the charcoal, so you're doing the first burn through pyrolysis, and then the inert mass of the carbon is kept, and so you don't give it, because normally you make charcoal and then you burn the charcoal, and here you don't burn the charcoal.
We can heat with the there is a no oxygen with the we can heat with the use of oxygen, like, so it's like a the no oxygen will reach and there's a no smoke during
precisely. That's the pyrolysis.
Thanks.
Well, thank you for inviting me, Anna. That's really sweet of you, and how wonderful to meet you guys.
Yeah, after a long time.
Yes, thank you for joining. And yeah, we will meet in 2016. Happy New Year to you and your family and community.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you, Anna, and Bartola, and Lalit, and all the other people that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting. But yeah, wonderful. What was the purpose of your hangout today? Was there any specific theme?
It was, we did this between 2012 and 13 as well. And then it was spontaneous, more like all people were waiting, at least people who are celebrating Christmas and New Year, that waiting for New Year. So we discussed this, that we could have some end of the year reflection for people who might just want to do something and reflect or tell what they're doing. So yeah, it's more spontaneous, open.
What a great idea!
Get together.
Fabulous idea. Well, I feel very honored to be participating.
Yeah, now we see another person, that has Sonan, who has tried to join a few times, and that will be exciting to see if we can get in contact with him and we can hear, or he can hear us. Do you hear us? He fell away again. He's somewhere in Asia, I think. This has also been an amazing journey over the last years to see the development of the connection. At least my feeling 2011-12, when we did the first hangouts, it was impossible in some places to connect.
Yeah.
And now we can, even if it's still a bit problematic, it's improving. And also people are much more used to that it's a bit chaotic style. Initially, people coming from a very planned and very rational TV background or something, everything should be exact in time and good recording and everything. Now it's a bit viral TV, and people are more used of dynamics around it. And that is another question that I came to think about today when we were discussing is, what type of competences do you see in different countries that people on average should invest in, or like what you are doing now, Christer, in Spain, what for the average people there, for the local people, to build a sustainable future or local, what should people know about? What are the competences to invest in, like the basic? We can't hear you, dear. You are muted.
Forgot. Well, I can only say from here, you might remember in Sweden, I started the Open World Foundation, then we had the Open World Cafe, then we found some seed capital to start the Open World Villages in Brazil, and so I've been working with several different sort of old paradigm structures, what I would like to say, and it just didn't take off for various reasons. So those companies have even been sold, liquidated, or dissolved. And I decided here just to start dialogues, just to invite people to sit in a circle and have dialogues around specific themes. So we started actually 2 years ago. I'll put in the link here, Sacred Valley Dialogues. Because, first of all, I found this Sacred Valley came to Spain to spend Christmas here with us, and so we met a lot, and she said, well, let's meet some people, let's meet some of the locals, and so we thought, well, we'll invite 5 or 10 people that we know, and we sort of got the word out, and eventually we had a mailing list of 62 people, and 45 showed up, and this was a dialogue that was basically organized on today, actually. Today, 2 years ago, we talked about this, and we had the talk on the 2nd of January, 2013. I guess, no, 2014, yeah. And then we've just kept on doing it. We've just had more dialogues. We have a little bar here in the village. I live in a village of 150 people. We just did dialogues. We invited people to come and talk about what they're growing, what they're working. Dialogues, information, education. That's
So dialogue. Do you see a big need in the village there to? I'm not familiar directly with the Spanish. How different the Spanish villages are, or culture from Sweden, but.
Well, I can say here. I mean, Mallorca is a very touristic island. We're in this tiny village up in the mountains. It's not as influenced by tourism, but there are a lot of foreigners living here. But what's unusual perhaps is here there's a lot of young people that are still living in the valley and developing their skills. So we still have a high degree of handicrafts or skilled workers like carpenters and blacksmiths and all the things basically you need to build and to grow. There's a very well developed agriculture in olives and in citrus fruits. So it's a quite vibrant community, and there is a growing awareness for the need for sustainability. I mean, Spain has an unemployment rate of over 50% for up to 25-year-olds. So there is this crisis. So there is an awareness, and there's an interest for new things, and that I'm sure has had an influence.
Quite interesting in relation to Lalito's working with the artisans, trying to bring up that. What do you see in India around this field?
Yeah, actually, the thing is that, like, we are living in the 21st century, and like from the last 60 years, we have 60 years of independence, and the last 60 years we are facing like the same things, which happened during the Independence Day until now. The pillagers or the artisans, most of the Indian population, the 70% of the population is living in the villages, in the rural side, and the most of them depends on the agriculture and as well as the craft making, kind of local handmade products making. Agriculture is seasonable, so the most of the time they are depends on the making of the handmade products which known as the handicrafts or the crafts like bags and all the things. And like the main important thing which they are facing is like the first for the main thing is, first of all, the main thing is the lack of education. The reason behind is because if you see the India is very famous, and Indian handicrafts or the handmade products is very famous throughout the world. Okay, so but the lack of education, lack of internet or technology will create a problem for them, in the agriculture, in for education, in other business as well. So the reason why I started HandsCard is to connect them with the help of technology. And most of the players, the India is facing a problem. They guys are facing the problem with, due to the rich people. I'm not saying the rich people, due to for the commission agent or the intermediate agent, which they are, ruining the work of them. The intermediate or commission agent ruining the work of the artisans with the help of different elements like politicians or the other NGOs or the other religion people. So what I did is like to provide them a kind of internet or the technological information or the education, as well as the skill development, because the most of the product they made is like very old in the design. So I will provide them a kind of workshop or a kind of skill development training, like designing or the selection of raw material, as well as financial help also. But I'm not the because I'm using my own fund, so the financial thing is little bit weaker on my side. But the other thing like workshop and the other training, internet, and all the things I'm providing them, so they directly, they are self-developed with the help of technology, with the help of skill development training. And they are not going to leave their handmade or the handicraft job, because the handicraft is directly connected with the traditional and the history of any country, like either it's Spain or it's Morocco or India or anywhere else. So I don't want to, to do they leave their job of making handicraft. So I am providing them all the things which I can, which I can give them, and bring back them to the handicraft business. So this is the thing. The HandsCard is the. I will share my link as well, after the call or after the conversation. So you guys will, know about the handicraft mission or HandsCard mission. And like as Krister said, I'm also planning to expand this HandsCard in the different part of the world, like especially in Spain, which is also famous for their local handmade products, as well as Morocco, Vietnam, Philippines, other Asian or other African countries, as well as the European countries. So I'll give a single platform to them to connect directly with the art lover or the customers throughout the world, and those artisans, because the condition of the artisan of rest of the world versus India is completely different. Because the artisans in Spain or artisan in Morocco, for example, they are, educated. They are not as illiterate as Indian or as Nepalis or as Bhutanese artisan. So the condition is obviously different from the different part of the world. So so I started with the India, but I will expand as well as soon as I get funding, as soon as get mentors and advisors like you. So I will expand in the different part of the country. The political aspect of the political aspect of this, especially in India, is like, um, is like politics, is in the country, in the big country like India, the politics is really important thing, is really important sector in a country like India, where where the government should have to, to plan a different kind of events or different kind of like dialogues platform for them, and then start bringing them from the rural side to the urban side to connect with them to the global platform. So here we are lacking, and that's why, as a youth, as a young guy, I am doing something, a very small contribution to the rural part of India.
How did you start and have this passion for all what you are doing? Where did you have this passion? Where does it come from?
Yeah, like when actually in 2012, I finished my MBA in international marketing and finance, and I got selected for a very good package in a corporate job. And like after 1.5 year, I left 6 or 7 jobs, in 1.5 year. that time I realized, oh, this is the board, this is the board job, and I'm not made for this kind of thing. And I love the traveling, traveling is my passion, so I travel all across my country. And I also came from a village of Uttar Pradesh, which is the most backward state of India after Bihar. So I came from from that village or that city, and we are shifted to a very metro city, Jaipur. And then when I travel across the country, I realize the condition of India, and that there are three main problem: education, employment, and the poverty. And all the three problems are interconnected with each other. If you provide education to them, they know, they will create a method to reduce the poverty, to reduce the employment. If you provide them employment, they will reduce the education, they will reduce the poverty. So it's interconnected. And the second thing what I realized is, because India is a very touristic place, so I realized that there is a huge demand of such handicraft or such craft products all across the world. But still, after such of huge demand, the condition of these people, the makers of that products, is really bad. So I thought, and I was thinking, like, where they guys are missing, so where's the real problem? So when I research, like, I started this hands card this year 2015 in September, okay, in August, September, but I started my field research in the last year. So after the 11 month of field research, I started hands card. And then after the 4 months of beta, post customers beta stage, I thought it's a nice platform, and I goes live in September 2015. So like that time I realize, and that time I generate my a liking towards this handicrafts and the crafts sector.
You also said that you were, I don't know if you're helping out entrepreneurs there with social media. What do you see around social media? In what way can that support the local development? And where is the status right now? What do the average entrepreneur use for social media, or how do they market themselves?
Yeah, I'm helping. I'm not saying I'm helping. Yeah, I'm just promoting the entrepreneurship and the politics through the social media. As I told you, I'm also a member of political party. Apart from this, I'm very I'm very much familiar with the social media, the entrepreneurship on social media, and I'm also, as an individual, as a personally use social media so much. You will aware about this. So like in India, like if you exclude few cities like Bangalore, New Delhi, or Mumbai, or maybe Jaipur, Ahmedabad, you will find there is a very lack penetration of internet and social media in the different cities of India. So like like if you want to bring the youth to the entrepreneurship, especially in the social entrepreneurship, you have to use the social media. Like our PM, our new prime minister, using the social media in a very effective way. So I thought I create some kind of the social media platform, like WhatsApp groups and the Facebook and the Twitter channels, or the Twitter hashtag, as well as the YouTube channel as well, to attract the youth from the tier 2 or tier 3 cities, and help them to connect with the right target market, to the right people like you, or to the right groups of platform which are made for the entrepreneurship, which are made for the social entrepreneurship. So this is like, but this is the new initiative, this is the new initiative, and this is not a organized initiative. I am just doing as like, because social media is my passion as well, so I'm using as a hobby, or you can say as a interest.
Amazing story there. Great. So it will be a lot of opportunities there to connect and to continue to develop what we have initiated and are working on. We have some new people. We see several people have jumped in and out. I think the connection has been bad, but Jonathan seems to be stable here. Can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Excellent. So for people who don't know about what you are doing, maybe you can tell shortly about your background and your projects.
Okay. Yeah, I'm doing. My name's John. I'm working on developing. I'm working on developing a web app that helps people consume sustainably. So that means it helps people like measure, track, compare, share, and reward their consumption of food that is healthy for Earth, the environment, society, and the body.
Okay, great. What is the name, and where are you based right now?
I'm in Richmond, and I'm based in Richmond, and the name of the web app is Earth Symbiosis, the ethical consumption game.
Yeah, maybe you can share it later. I know the background, but for people who are not aware of it, we can share it also on the website and in the Facebook groups later. So where are you in the process right now?
So I'm just I'm trying to learn how to figure out how to use the visual programming web app application to make the web app.
What do you see as, is that one of the bigger challenges around it, or
Yeah, because I'm trying to do it with because the other option is to just get some financing and to pay somebody to make it. Because if I can do it myself, that would be cheaper.
If you go back to the basic idea there, how did it start to evolve? How did you come into this idea and to this? Are you a business right now, or is it a non-profit, or what organization do you have?
I haven't really incorporated, but I want to do a benefit corporation when I incorporate.
And how did you come into this field? Did you see some challenges that you wanted to solve, or what's the background there?
Yeah, so I was pretty depressed about looking at the world and seeing how it was so scary about the future being like unsustainable, and how by the end of my lifetime the things might get much worse if we don't change our behavior. So I just started learning about the problem, about unsustainable consumption, and basically for myself, I try to reduce my my unsustainable consumption and make my consumption more sustainable. And I just thought that to live a meaningful life, a purposeful life, I could help other people and help society become more sustainable, so that society can be more eternal rather than just temporary, a temporary phenomenon that's just a blip in existence. I want to be part of a society that's like that's has a future, a good future. So I started reading books about like How to Change the World by Bornstein, and social enterprise books.
That's great. So what stage are you now in the process? Are you trying to figure out the model, how to develop this, and or
I'll give you the link to my plan. It's right there.
okay, is it open for other people?
I think so.
Great. Do you have some question there, Lalit or Christo? Or?
Yeah, I have. I'm getting several questions actually. Jonathan, I thank you for sharing on that. That's very interesting, and you know, I mean, it's so interesting to meet other people like this and to hear them express their feelings. And that was actually the question I was going to ask Lalit after Lalit had been presenting. You know, what do we see here you know, I was just sort of curious how different people felt after the Paris summit, and you know, just generally, what is the feeling amongst you of where we stand in developing these kinds of projects? From my perspective as an entrepreneur, I've been, you know, I came from the corporate world, basically quit in 2002, so I've been on this journey for 13 years, and at first it felt like I was banging my head against the wall, and then I started meeting people and that are involved in projects, and now it just seems like there's so many amazing projects going on all over the place. So we're really sort of, it feels almost like we're going out of the transition phase and into something really new and exciting. That's what I think is so exciting about 2016. But how do you feel about, you know, leaving this old paradigm financially? I mean, the economics, the financial system, the energy system. You know, we're very dependent on old forms of energy. And of course, you know, how can we impact the environment, just like your project, Jonathan, is aiming to do?
Well, the theory behind my idea is voting with your dollars for the world you want. So my theory is that to make a change, you have to make the consumer responsible for whatever the producers of their products are doing.
Mm. Yeah.
So like in my app, like if you buy from a farmer that uses like way too much fossil fuel or like using fertilizers that run off, you're supporting that, so you're partly responsible, and that reflects on your score on the game, the serious sort of game. But if your consumption matches like a sustainable world, you can get up to like 100% sustainable in your score, meaning that if everybody consumed like you, then the world would sustain at least a 10,000 years in projected lifespan.
Is this a game that you play online, or how do you offer this game?
I call it a game, but it's not really like a typical game.
It's like
But yeah, it's a web app. You like. I'm trying to figure out the ideal way to input what you eat, but basically what you do is whenever you eat something, you type in what it is you ate, or scan the barcode of what you ate, or type in the name of what you ate, and it gives you the score with all the ingredients included.
Okay, nice. Like I have a question for Jonathan. Like if you when you create that app for kind of app, or you can say game, like how can the farmers, the people who are in the agriculture, who are using the fertilizer and all the stuffs, how can they use that app, like to maintain or to calculate the things which they are using in the different things? Like for example, for a general people, like if I'm eating a simple burger or cheeseburger, and I can scan the barcode, so I know the calculation of this thing. But like if we are using if the farmers are using the same app or game during the farming or during the other things, how can they calculate, or how can this like what is the mechanism of this app or this game, like when they are using the different pesticides or the different fuels and different sorts of things, so they can calculate the things, they can calculate the carbon number of carbons, and how can they reduce, like if the calculation is exceeding the point, then they can reduce the things to the to a normal level or to average level.
So basically, the way the data collection works is based upon like Wikipedia, how Wikipedia gets all its information. it's basically the same way, except so like if you're trying to invest, you have all these wiki investigators who kind of figure out, they interview farmers, and they get the data on like the water consumption, the fuel consumption, the energy consumption, all the relevant data, and then the data is checked for accuracy, and not only the data, but the people who add the data are checked for accuracy. So if they're consistently making inaccurate data, their data gets deleted or less used in the calculation.
Okay. Or we can use that real-time data as well, like
What do you mean?
the real-time data means like it's a very practical data which they are guys are using, like because the WikiLeaks data or kind of WikiLeaks things, as you said. So why not we are using the real-time data, which is most it's more accurate or more practical, like which they are using in real time or real daytime.
Yeah, if that data is available, yeah, of course. I don't know how available that data is, the real-time data, like for water consumption, for example.
Okay. Yeah, you can talk about this because this app or this game is it's interesting, and I will share my views and I will ask your views after the call so we can have a great discussion about this,
Okay.
if you don't mind. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll add you on my Google Plus.
Excellent. We have Sri Hari joining here a few times. I think he has some challenges to join, so hopefully we can hear you for some time at least. Do you hear us? Hello? I don't know. I think he has some problem there with the connection, but it might come here. So meanwhile, do you have any feedback there on Jonathan's Elise? Or you can add.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to studying it and looking at those websites. Sounds very interesting. Is this one question? Is it country or market specific? Like, is this geared for the U.S. or Europe or?
Well, I'm starting in where I am in Virginia in the United States. But eventually, yeah, of course, it'll span scale to everybody. That's the goal, anyways.
Could it be developed on a local level?
Yeah, I was There's some noise there.
Mute. Leila,
Leila's.
I think Leila can.
Leila has some noise.
Yeah, Leila voice, I think from Leila side.
Oh, there you go. Okay, what was your question again?
He was saying like this is the country specific or like we can use anywhere on the same thing, like the same version.
Yes. Thank you, Lalit.
Yeah, so like to make it, I was thinking about how to do it, like implement it, like not even like a web app, just at a farmer's market without any technology, just for practice. And I think it's possible. I would just need to like interview the farmers there and kind of make little tokens where the farmers give out tokens for how basically how much water they used, for example.
Yeah, actually that's why I said the real-time data. Real-time data means like it's country specific. For example, if there is a there is a standard data which you are using for the US, and then when we are using for the country specific, then we can use the real-time data. Like for example, like this is interesting. This first of all, this is an interesting thing, especially for the countries like India or like the Asian countries and African countries. And that's why, like I'm saying, the real-time data where we can use the same thing, the same version of your app or your game in a different countries. So then we can use the same version with the real-time data as per the country specific. So
Well,
nice.
well, I've been thinking about making it like a. Well, I want to make it open source if possible, so that people can modify it to their specific needs.
Okay.
So if
So
I
you are
make
a
it
tech.
on,
Okay, nice. You are a techie guy. You are a technical person, or you are the the marketing or the idea person.
yeah, I'm the ideapreneur, or the idea person, but I'm also trying to figure out how to use WordPress to make the app, and I think that's possible. I'm meeting with some guy who's made a WordPress app before, and so I mean it could be happening pretty soon, like the actual web app. And if and then if it's made on WordPress, then it can be extended, and because WordPress apps are very extensible, so you can add things to it from
Add
different
plugins.
parts, plugins, yeah.
Okay, nice.
Okay, we have Leila joining here. I don't know if you're in Brazil or in Sweden or where are you?
She's in Brazil.
I'm gonna have to unmute her.
You need
I'm
to
in Brazil. I think I put it on now.
yeah, now you put it on. It was some noise first when you joined there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, so unused to make hangouts. Sorry.
So what are you doing? And you have a very interesting project
Yeah, I
ongoing
just
in Brazil.
yeah. We have this company that you know, and we moved to a new house now. Very nice with a green roof and some sustainable measures like reusing water from the rain to water the plants, things like this, and opening now again for children in January next week. Everything is really nice, and I just came to say good New Year for you, for Anna, and the others that I don't know. Maybe I can show you some parts of the house later if you want. This is the place where we work with the children. So we have a lot of robots and things for them, things like this. You know my work already.
Yeah, but for people who don't know, what is
Yeah, but
the project and the business there? What are you doing?
yeah, we have a kind of a different kind of business because it's a business. It's a business company. It's a software company. So we work with e-commerce softwares. Have a team of developers. It's a very small company. We are like 15 people working here. Hey, Anna. And we are like 15 people working here. We are in the market for 20 years now, completing now in February 9. But we opened for children since we were, it was always connected to our work. So it's not a school, it's nothing like this. It's a company, but it's open for children at the same time. So they come not to have classes about anything, but to choose some area of interest. Especially we are very much into technology, digital technology, and how it can help us to know more and to build and to create things for our lives. So we have a lot of different possibilities. Of course, they can use paint, and they can use robot that paints also. They can make the things. They can learn in their own pace, and that's it. So in these 20 years, we worked with more than 1,500 children. Some of them are here since they were 5 years old. Now they are 16, 17 years old. They keep coming. And this new house is very important for us because in these 20 years we were always, like, we rented houses, 3 until now. I think we grew with the houses, and now this one is so big and so nice and prepared for the work. So we have a very nice meeting room. We have a big kitchen. We eat every day here together, the team, and we make our own food. We try to plant our own food too. So the children, the knowledge areas go from like robots to worms. They have to but they can deal with everything and learn. And we follow the progress of the children by making portfolios of their work. So it's not like traditional learn this and then I test if you learn. It's just a process of developing their own ideas about how to use computers and how to use technology for them, for life.
I think you
That's
made
it.
a book also last year, it was, I guess.
Yeah, my husband made when he came to Brazil the first time, he went to Moleque. The company name is Moleque de Ideias, that is like kids of ideas or something like this. And he was trying to understand, because it's really it's I think it's the only one that I know. Many people even from Europe from the educational field and other fields, and they say, I never saw this, because or you are working only with children, or you have a space only for children, or you have a space only for developers. And we work today. There are no children here because it's this special week, but next week we are going to have them again. And we work together, so we learn how to behave together. 4 years old, 5 years old, me, everybody, like, so it's very interesting. And the book he wrote because he was trying to understand everything that we were doing here. So he wrote I don't know how many pages. It's this one. Now we translated it to Portuguese. So it shows like the first 19 years of Moleque with many things that we did. We have it's free in the internet. It's an ebook, so anybody, or a PDF, it's free. It's no charge. So you can, if somebody is interested in the idea of having something that is integrated with the children, I think it's very interesting. It's interesting for us because it's like a park where you can play with your favorite gadgets. And so it's good for the company in terms of innovation, in terms of creativity of the workers. I say people that are working professionally and developing softwares of very high, how do you say, not risk, but the areas that we approach with software development are really for big companies and very critical, let's say like this. But the children are here with us. That's it.
Yes, I read the book last year, so it's a very interesting story there about their interrelating so many around diversity, intergenerational learning, and formal and informal learning, and you have all the aspects, and even there the energy in growing the community and food. So it's a very interesting laboratory where you can observe a lot of things. Do you have some questions there? Maybe Lalit or Jonathan, what do you see from, or Anna?
I just shared the link from you, your Facebook account. You know, I just want to wish you a happy New Year, Leila.
Yeah, I wish the same for you. Now I can in Swedish also.
Wow.
Gott nytt år.
Yeah.
In Swedish, so now I can talk a little.
That's cool.
Yeah, and you have also been to Finland, I think. But you are in for the people. I think people realize that you are in Brazil.
Now I am in Brazil. Yeah,
and you
now
have the office in.
Will be here because the last time I took vacations was in September. So
and the office is
I will be here for.
And where is the office?
I'm sorry.
Where is the office?
Where's the office? The office is in Niterói. Niterói is in Rio, state of Rio de Janeiro, the other side of the big bridge that we have here in Baía de Guanabara. So it's a small city, but very, very close to Rio. And that's it, Niterói.
Excellent. Lalit, do you have some input from your perspective? I think we have people from all continents this time. We have from Manila and from US and from Europe, of course, and India and Brazil. Not Africa.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, Africa have been in twice or three times into the Hangout, but we didn't get connection with them, unfortunately. Yet, but it has been a very interesting stories to hear. And we see here Sri Hari is joining again. I think it's the 5th or 7th time, but can you hear us now? Hello? If it doesn't work, we will do this plenty of time next year, so I guess you will have some more opportunities here.
In a nutshell, Leela, you are making the kids more technical friendly, like you are training or you are educating them the technical aspect, like the coding and all the things, so they can can make some like this. Okay, because I saw some kind of small robots or what else behind you. There is a boxes and there is a.
Oh yeah, this is Lego Mindstorms, this one. But we have some different kinds there. Is that I don't think I can really take this out without losing. Can you pick a robot there or anyone that you? Yeah, like they learn to code. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, you can continue. Then I'll ask.
Yeah, they learn to code. As I said, I think the most important thing that we try here is that they learn that they can think by themselves and they can learn by themselves that things that are interesting to them. So we have a lot of everything that interests us. And Betula said something else there about this building of the community. So for the community around, we made this house. We didn't make any like special place for cars, for example, because we are in a community here that there are a lot of buildings and a lot of children already. So we want them to come by bike or by foot or and explore. And the parents are invited also to come, and if they want to explore something in arts or science that they want to. So we have also tools, let's say mind tools for adults. We don't work with them as we work with the children. They have much more, like we follow them much more and we take care of them in their the way that they become autonomous with digital technology. But the adults, they can, for example, we have like a 3D printer that was mounted here, and it's a tool there we have a CNC also to cut wood. So we try to make with the community around us to tie more, and that people can do different things, not only go to work and be bored until Friday and then they go and they spend the weekends. It's a little different.
It's like it's like more advanced education. Like it's all about the basic bookish knowledge. And like for example, if you're teaching something to a kid, like the kid are the most innovative person. The kid, like the stage of a kid is the most innovative stage of any human being. So like once if you're teaching something coding or something technical to them, and if something in there is own mind, so they will create
Yeah.
their own ourselves, like for example, because if something happen in my mind and I will tell you to create this thing, that will there is a difference between my mind and your creation. So if
Yeah.
you teaching me coding or the technical thing, and if I have some idea and I'm making myself, so that will be a great one, that will be a great product. So it's a wonderful thing. It's like a new advanced teaching you are doing to the kids.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think it's a good opportunity, yes, for them and for us also as the company. If they were not here, it would be probably too boring. But it's not. It's interesting. Yeah, and I think to believe that you are able to create something, and also we work with small groups, and not everybody is doing the same thing at the same time. The ages are mixed too, so it's kind of a normal space. And then what happens is that maybe you don't learn how to code, but you know that your friend likes to code and he learned how to code, while you like to paint, and then maybe you are going to make a project together. So it's like what we seek, I think it's first of all that the kids and everybody here feels like we are in where we would like to be. So
That's
we are
great.
in the guy again, that's
Yeah, you can use you can use the disabled kid as well. Like if there is we can train them as well. The disabled kids, the
this
special kids. Yeah, the disabled
special
kids.
goods.
The special
Disabled
kids.
kids.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
Hey,
we
don't
can
think
can
train.
you
I'm. Yeah.
can
I
you get
don't
my
think I
question?
understood.
I have a question.
Okay.
Do you think you can like make like an electric vehicle, open source electric vehicle there, or a bike?
A bike, open source. We can do we can do everything that we imagine to do, and we have the resources to do. Normally, everything that we do here, unless, of course, we have projects with big companies, as I said, like e-commerce, we cannot make it open. On the contrary, we are totally in the closed worlds, right? Everything is a secret and everything has to be there. But with them, with the children and everything that we do here, then it's open. So yeah, we could do. I don't know if we would have every tool to make a bike. I don't know if I really want to make a car, but maybe a car. I don't know, a little car, maybe
Or a scooter?
a scooter. Yeah,
Electric
everything
scooter.
we could do. Yeah, we have kids like 16 years old, 15 years old that they are already using their skateboards, and they come by bike, and they maybe some of them would be really interested. With the little ones, we don't use like proper not all the tools that we have, for example, welding or something. But we have in the second floor, we have kind of a workshop for adults, as I said, for adults, because like you have to be responsible when you are using something with fire, but we have this space here. Yes, we have. Yeah. And if it's open, open project, we are very much in favor of openness.
I have there's this open source electric vehicle you can download the plans for on the internet.
Yeah.
And I think you just need a CNC to make the parts.
Yeah, I will. A CNC to make a. Yeah, let's see. We have the CNC already, so it's just maybe it's just the link, and people interested in making the car. Yeah, I think it's it.
I'll send you the link. osvehicle.com.
Are you taking part in any project like this?
Yeah. I'm trying. Oops. I'm trying to make like a mycelium house on wheels. Mycelium is like the root structure of a mushroom. It's lighter and stronger than steel or concrete. It's like you can like drop it off, break off the building, and it won't get damaged.
Okay. And we are very we like also to, if you have any idea that you want to do together, we can use the internet and maybe become part of a group together. This happens also here. Anna and Betula, they they took part, and they saw a lot of this. There was a movement 3 years ago called Jelly Week, and we did a e-textile piece, patchwork, with many people around the world, and also food. We did this local cooking. Our kitchen here, we prepared the kitchen to be able to do these things together with people all over the world too. So we are very open to that.
Maybe we can together, maybe we can together create a kind of a smart like bike with a biofuel, kind of open vehicle with the biofuel, like Jonathan, you and me and
bike. Just a minute. Bike what? Sorry.
A smart bike with the with the running with the biofuel. A smart vehicle,
cool.
smart bike.
It's a little.
As Jonathan said.
Smart bike. Yeah. Bike. Yeah.
Running with the biofuel.
Yeah.
Which is biofuel, which is very common in Brazil.
Yeah. We are very fond of these ideas. New and sustainable and together and to learn and to develop knowledge. This is very much what we like to do.
Yeah, maybe you could like. I'd like you to meet my friend. He's trying to develop a space kind of like yours for like, it's called Indie Lab. It's like an Elliot, my friend Elliot. He's we're in Richmond here, and
he's trying to create.
Yeah, develop an indie lab, an independent laboratory sort of thing, but it's also like a hack space. Have you heard that term before?
Mm-hmm.
Or
hacker
space or
hacker space, maker space. Yeah.
That's basically what you're doing, right? Yeah, it's and the indie lab, he's trying to get all this equipment to like make experiments and open up science to the community rather than just industry and academia.
And how do you think? Do you know how he's going to finance the place?
I think it's membership fees. But he already has the space. But I haven't asked him. Like, I think he got a grant actually from. from
Yeah,
a university?
we in these 20 years we had this what we try to do here is that we finance this space ourselves with the money that
Oh, okay.
we have from the software development. That's how we do it, because if we go here in Brazil, at least through government or other fund, we lose a lot of freedom.
Yeah.
So I think this is a good thing. If you like children, you have to. Here we were 3 partners in the beginning, and me and two guys. Everybody, I took engineering and system analysis, and they were from computer science also. But both of the 3 of us, we like children also. So for us was an easy path, let's say like this. And so we never aim to be big. It's just what we aim is like to have a life. And I think what we can prove in a way is that you can do something like this, like live out the way you want, doing things that you really like, and have a good life, and make something good for the community in this way, without going through the money or trying to get the money to finance this, but with work. It's a way. It's not the only way, I know, but it's a way. Let me have somebody new here.
Yeah, I think they might like do like, well, I don't think they're gonna do it, but they could do like a profit sharing from their inventions or their experiments, the knowledge they create at this laboratory.
Oh yeah, yes, exactly. Make things that have value and that people give value to. It's a way to, yeah, find something that has value to others. Yeah, I think it's important, because then it's easy to go on.
Brazil is more into the sustainable things. They are using the sustainable things very wisely, from fuels to sustainable clothing, food, and all.
Brazil.
We also have Charles.
Charles.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, some time back now, the Dubrovnik time.
That's
Where
right.
are you? Stockholm, or where are you right now?
Munich, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. I saw, Anna, your note, or thought I'd join and see how it works. Sounds exciting.
Yeah, it works. We have 3 hours with very exciting discussion, and just hang around here before Christmas, before New Year. So it's a good time for reflection and spending some time, and yeah, to motivate for next year. Maybe to bring some relationship and some innovations as well, some new ideas. But for people who don't know your background and what you're doing, maybe you can shortly tell about your very interesting story and what you're up to now.
Oh, thank you. Sounds like you're talking a little bit about sustainability, and that's something that I teach at the Technical University here in Munich. I have a class this year with 73 students from 28 different countries, so it's very international. Also teach in Saudi Arabia and in India, so that's why I wanted to listen in and see what the key themes are that we need to focus on.
I think it's a little bit of everything that we have touched upon. We have discussed evolutionary leadership, Finn Jackson and Fyodor Shinnikov from Oakland and Finnish in UK, and we have moved into community development and the biosphere and new ways of energy, and to maker spaces in Brazil and to Manila. and India there with handicrafts. And Jonathan is building an innovation system in Richmond, and so forth. So we have a quite diverse, but I think it has touched upon the community building, sustainability, entrepreneurship, leadership, all that.
Sounds very exciting. Wow.
Can we?
Why don't you
go-
continue on your discussion and let me listen?
Yeah, great. Yeah, we can just continue. I don't know how much you heard there, Charles, but Lalit is an entrepreneur in India, and he's very much up to everything. He's reinventing India and building up India from the challenges there and everything from the politics to entrepreneurship. So it should fit very well to your courses in India, I guess.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah, actually, I heard a word from your mouth, like India. So, like, can you, if you don't mind, can you give some conclusion about your work, like Dr. Charles, like, if you don't mind?
Sure. You're challenged. You now, I think, have the fastest growing economy in the world, as China has slowed down. Secondly, yes.
You can continue.
Okay, to keep it going, you need more coal-fired plants, it seems, or to tap the sun. There's just a lot of huge challenges in India, in part because the British were so successful in disconnecting you with the nurturing roots of your economy. Because up until about 1700, India had the biggest GNP in the world, and then it went down as England went up. So there's a lot of huge challenges, and it's not just technical, it's also spiritual. Your turn.
Yeah, right. Like, this is the no doubt this is the biggest and growing economy in world, India, no doubt. But the problem is, like, when you have the biggest growing economy on the papers, and the real problems on the on reality. So these are the two different things, because we are now focusing on the papers and the numbers and the figures of the GDP and the economies, but we forget the real problems in which happens in the country, in the local villages or the local cities in India. Like, I think you're aware about the real problems of the India, and I don't have any kind of doubts on the economy and the GDP of India. Obviously, we have a great future, but apart from the great future, when something happens good in one direction, there's a worse thing as well. Like, for example, if you're creating the big factories, big industry, obviously the pollution or the climate or carbon emission is obvious, it's increased as well. So I'm giving you example of the good and bad. So, like, that's why I'm asking about, like, if we have a growing economy, if we have the growing GDP, what do you think the problems, which the current problem of India is going to be solved by this growing economy or growing GDP?
A very simple challenge: overcome mugging up.
But, like, it's very simple in a one line, but but with the kind of disturbance in the politics, with the kind of uncivil behavior of the people here, and the problems
Yeah, I agree
like
with you.
education, the problems with, like, education and the employment, you think it can be solved as easily as you said in one line?
No, one line requires an enormous amount of rethinking and reconnecting and letting go this notion that success is what we have in terms of things around us, not what is inside us. And there have been two recent books that have helped me a lot. One is From Smart to Wise. And there's really been very little discussion in sustainability about what is wise to do, a lot about what's smart to do. Secondly, we focus so much on the internet and all that that's brought us, the digitization of life. We've forgotten the inner net. and our inner apps. So there's a lot here, but I want to respect what you folks were doing and listen more to where you are so that I can better understand the themes that you're working on.
Okay, okay. So like I'm working on the two projects right now. One is the handscard.com. Handscard.com is a kind of online platform for the artisans, you know, to not for the artisan woman as well as for the disabled kid as well. And you know, to give them, I'm providing them kind of a special workshop or a special skill development training from which they can be self-employed, okay, and they can be, you know, self-educate themselves with the help of this workshop or this education. And by this they are you know, ready to make some kind of handmade crafts or kind of some basic things, the basic product for which they can, you know, they can be self-employed, they can earn something for their family and for their kids. And the other one is Vishwa.com, which is more like the sustainable clothing, which take the less water, the less energy to stretch to manufacturing. So the second one is like all about the sustainable clothing, not the organic or not the eco-friendly. The more are the sustainable fabric, which like the local fabrics of India, local fabrics of South America or Africa. And apart from this, I'm also working on the Voice project, which is my project. I'm also a member of political party, which gave me a, you know, which gave me a market research project on which I did a research on my state Rajasthan about the rural, you know, rural sector, like for which sector which candidate is suitable, like what is the problem of particular area, what is the problem of particular city. And for this after this detailed research, they guys, you know, that party will appoint the candidate, you know, on basis of my research. The other one is using the social media, you know, and I'm empowering the entrepreneurs for the from the third or tier 2 or tier 3 city to connect with the different platforms of the entrepreneurship from throughout the world, so, like by using the social media and social things, you know, platforms.
Very interesting. Do you know Digital Green in Delhi?
Yes.
Because
Green,
what
right?
they're, go ahead.
Green economy.
No, there's a organization in Delhi called Digital Green. And
Yeah, I heard about the name, but only.
the model that they use is low-cost video filming to spread good practices in agriculture. You could perhaps do what they're doing in agriculture in weaving and handcrafts as a way to create communities of support around various handcrafts persons.
Okay, okay, nice.
So I know Digital Green well, and I know the head of it, and I would be glad if you send me an email to put you in touch with him.
Sure, I will. Sure.
So you wanna hear what I'm doing?
Yes.
So I'm developing a web app to help people consume sustainably, and it does that by it helps people measure, track, compare, share, and reward their consumption of food that is healthy for Earth, society, and the body.
Wow, that sounds exciting. When will you have it ready to test?
Maybe could be, depending on different things, anywhere from like 2 months to like a year.
Okay. Well, certainly we need to become much more self-conscious, and you probably know about the quantified self movement.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Have you been to their website?
Yeah, but I haven't looked at it very much. But I'll go to it right now. Yeah, not quantified mind, but quantified self.
Quantified self, and after you look at that, you can also put in quantified planet, which is a small group in Stockholm, again using similar thinking, and you were basically working on quantified eating health, if you will, so you fit nicely in into that world. And the spirit is we take responsibility ourselves for our own composition.
What do you mean composition?
That we create and co-create one another. We don't just consume to live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been looking for a lot of information that's hard to find about consumption. Like, for example, I know we're like consuming like, what is it, like 1.5 Earths every year. Like, if whatever Earth can produce, whatever we can produce in 1 year, we're consuming 1.5 times that, whatever Earth can produce naturally.
That's right.
So, but what I don't understand is what does that mean? Like, how much longer can we continue consuming all this water and fossil fuel? How long can we do that before we can't do it anymore?
We're almost at that point now. If you don't know the site footprintnetwork.org, please look at that, and you will see a lot of very good work that could be background to your own app development.
The Global Footprint Network?
Yeah, I put it in the chat section. You can just click on it.
Oh yeah.
Excellent. We have also Pradeep joining here from Nepal. I think you are there now. Can you hear us?
Oh.
Hello. Great. We can hear you.
Oh, great.
How are
Nice.
things?
I'm fine. Nice to see you after a long time. Hi.
Hello. Hello. So what's happening in Nepal? Can you give us some update and tell about your project and what you're doing for people who don't know you?
Okay, sure. Well, my name is Pradeep. I'm from Nepal. Here I'm running Change Nepalese Mission organization, which is non-profit organization. I am founder and president of that organization. And from that organization, here we are running ICT Center, Information and Communication Technology Center, where we empower youth, women, and children through the ICT and education. This project is running over here. I will give you the link, Facebook link, to know more about our past and running program. Also, besides that ICT Center, here we are for peace and humanitarian support. You all might heard about the last earthquake in Nepal. Since that earthquake, here we supported victims in the epicenter with medicine, food, clothes, and like that. And now what we are doing is that now we are rebuilding the damaged school which was damaged by the earthquake. The reconstruction of the building is going on. I will give you the link to know more about that. You all are heartily welcome to join our organizational Facebook group page, by which you will know and figure out what we are doing over here in Nepal. Here you go. Thank you. That is what here I'm doing, and our team is doing.
And how is your ICT project going? You have been very active with the earthquake. You were recently, I think, on the Global Leadership Summit as well.
Yes,
So
well, let me explain about that. After the earthquake, we are not able to run the ICT center for 3 or 4 months because that center was also affected by the earthquake, and now we are also reconstructing and also seeking some support to help to build the ICT center. And besides that, I was invited at Bangladesh in Dhaka to participate on the Global Entrepreneur Youth Summit. I was there as a speaker, and I presented about what we are doing here as a social entrepreneur. And at the time, I had got a great opportunity to meet with the global youngster entrepreneurs from Bangladesh, Vietnam, South Korea, Kenya, Jordan, and Indonesia, along with Indian youth as well. So it was very interesting and also very productive time while I was there and participating there. So what I would like to mention you all that let's cooperate together, because the more we cooperate, then the more we can generate the ideas by which these ideas will help to create a sustainable development. Yes, that is what we are doing. And my philosophy, my principle is that to create a sustainable development, we have to change negative norms and values from the society. Because in the society, not only in Nepal, around the world, so many people have different ideas, but some people are trying to break such type of the thing. So we have to change their minds, negative thoughts, to the positive thoughts by which we can cooperate with all for the sustainable development. Thank you.
it's great to see you again. I think you have been part of a lot of webinars over the last 2, maybe 3, even up to 3 years now. So it has been amazing to follow the journey there. And I think in 2016 we are on the first time we have a bit of planning ahead. We have been following very much what is going on and trying to design and connect initiatives, people and projects in the making, but maybe this year could also be a bit that we can build some more powerful tools and connection between different projects and people. So that's an ongoing, but it's never ending. It's like an amoeba, and it's a process in making. Any feedback so far? We have been run now for 3 hours here, but we can continue for some time more. I will soon need to leave myself, but it's Anna who opened the link there, so it can be open if people want to continue.
Well,
it's free there. Any feedback?
Can I just interrupt just a little?
Yeah, it's totally open.
Sorry. Yeah, very, very nice projects, and Betul and Anna, very nice to have people from so many places of the world in the end of the year. It's just so good to see people with good intentions just in the beginning of the new era. So very, very nice. But I will have to go now, and I just want to, I don't know if Anna wanted to see some robots. I don't know if you can.
Right now it's difficult to see. It's frozen the picture. Maybe you can hear us.
Yeah.
Oops. She did say something about not being able to leave that place, so.
She said that before. But otherwise, I would recommend that you read this book about the space. It's amazing what they have been doing there. And
Well, I just want to speak for a while.
yeah, great.
Yeah. So this is Srihari Kappu from India, and I just want to give a brief intro about my ongoing projects. So, well, I'm currently handling two NGO organizations, and for both the organizations, I'm the CEO, and we are also having a startup named alliswell.com, which is a social entrepreneur website that we designed it um, for the college students to market their products for the second-hand market or like something like that. And for the NGO side, we just came up with an idea called uh, sharing a little, which is a sharing social entrepreneur website that we designed it for the college students to market their products. Well, now we are on an ongoing project which is started 3 years ago. By this new year, it's going to complete 3 years, and that was an NGO in which we just started it like we are a group of 50 people, and then I just made an idea like we just want to change the existing scenario in the orphanages as well as the old age homes that are present in the nearby localities in our society. And what we had done is we just implemented an idea that we used to collect the funds from the 50 people that we became as a community, and then we uh, like um, and then we made events, and we just helped those people who are in need. So like this we had achieved a lot, and now we are doing around like 50 to 60 events are being done on date, and that was a progress so far, and we are just going to have a few more events in the 2016 after the new year. In January and February there are some more events. Like what I want to say at the end is like if you want to change something, you cannot change it in an instant, but you just need to collaborate the people who are having the same ideology, and then you can if you work on it, then you can definitely win, definitely succeed at some point of time. That's all. And we had achieved the same. We faced the struggle at the beginning of the organization, but when we got out with the results, everyone realized that we are going on the right path, and that is the story that I just want to share with you all.
It's brilliant.
Thank you.
And you tried to come in, I think, 8 times before you completed this hangout. So it's really it shows the passion and the commitment there to be part.
Yeah.
Okay, so so hang on there, and maybe you can be part of the conversation. We didn't know if you could hear us here, but we also have Garrett here joining here. So it's also building some really interesting platform here. So maybe we could get an update there.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Thanks.
sure.
Thanks, Bert. Yeah, we're gearing up for March. World Health Innovation Summit. It's a social enterprise project that I've been working on for the last couple of months. Revolves around healthcare, giving people the opportunity to come forward to share knowledge based on patients, clinicians, managers, voluntary sector, education, and the business community. So it's a unique platform in the fact that no one's really pulled anything like that together before, and we've had we've had great feedback from anyone we've spoken to. I'll put up some links and you can have a look at the progress that's been made. One of the exciting developments over the last couple of days that we've been involved in is actually, I don't know if any of you guys have tried Blab.
Yeah.
It's quite an interesting format. I was introduced to it last night by Samantha Kelly, who does a lot of social media work, and just found it a really interesting platform to share knowledge. I could stick the links up as well, and so that people can get involved. But you just pick a topic, you go online, and you connect with people all over the world. So it's quite an interesting forum.
Is it like Quora?
It's more like a combination, as I see it, as an open chat, but it has maximum 4 people that can be part of it. It's extremely dynamic. I think it will be a very good platform ahead. So I can really recommend to testing it. But you join by Twitter, so a question for me is, will this be a connection to the Twitter network? And as you might be familiar of thing similar, and even if it's open to the more famous people right now, I guess it's will open quite soon for the average person, and I guess that's my guess. It will be extremely powerful and alike. But maybe you need 2-3 platforms like that if you have a diverse network and communities.
Yeah, I suppose I just convened a Blab earlier this morning, and Christiana joined us, and it was great. We had Christiana speaking from Greece, giving her experience, and then we spoke here about the community spirit that's been shown around the Carlisle floods and the Cumbrian floods, and it's all about collaboration, people coming together using the online streams to help each other. Been really powerful here over the last couple of months, or last couple of weeks, sorry, while the floods have taken place.
Yeah, it was really amazing to see there. How has this, since this is really practice now over the last weeks, how has this helped you, the social media, in the challenges you have there with the flooding?
It's been immense. I mean, the difference it's made. I mean, in 2005, it took 12 months for people to get back on their feet. But literally, thousands of people have been mobilized through social media. Communities have come from Coventry, Manchester, Blackpool, and they've all just flooded into, like, pardon the pun, but come into the region and just helped out. It's an amazing community spirit, and all the all the large businesses, the multinationals, the likes of Tesco and Asda, have all responded to that, and the goodwill that they've shown. We're seeing a social change, a shift.
Great, that's a very good example. Maybe you can write something around this, or some information that would be.
Sure. I've posted a blog up, 2 blogs recently on it. I'll stick the links up here now shortly, and people can have a look. And any feedback or anything, that any points or any questions, just drop me a line.
Excellent. And what about the coming months now? I understand that you are up to building activities in many places with the Health Summit.
Yeah, so our first event is in March, 10th and 11th here at Carlisle in the old fire station. I'll stick up some links and people can have a look at that. We recently were touch base with Christiana in Greece, so we're going to run a wellness summit in Greece in October. We're also going to go to Austria in October to talk about leadership. We've linked in with a hospital over there. I'll stick up some links later and people can have a look. We're also doing a piece on women's health in Africa, which will be covered in London. One of our directors, Dr. Gloria Sabone, is going to cover that. And we formed partnerships recently with Peace Revolution, which is part of the World Peace Initiative. So we're starting to really diverse, move into different areas. Locally here, we're being very well supported by the City Council and the NHS. I'm due to meet the University of Cumbria on the 13th of January to discuss a partnership agreement with them. So there's a lot of plates spinning, shall we say, but it's all really positive. It's great for the region here because we're struggling as a health economy to attract staff, and the local hospital is £55 million in the red. So this gives some sort of solution.
What's the background there? It seems like it's a very interesting model. It seems to me from outside that it's both the community and event, and how did it come about, and how do you organize it right now?
Yeah, I mean, effectively, I suppose I worked in the, my background's always been in healthcare. I worked for the National Haemophilia Council in Ireland. I was the chief officer there. I worked on national blood transfusion programs, hemochromatosis, endoscopy services, national hospital groups, things like that. And then I moved to the UK, took a job in the NHS in IT, and just became really involved with a local business community called the Carlisle Ambassadors, and realised that there was a lot of social good happening in the business community, but there was no way to link that to healthcare. Thought about it and just said, well, let's try and bring these platforms together, because in the business community, if we look at, say, IT systems, if we look at the banking sector, they've got it right, whereas in healthcare we can't get that right. So why not share that information so that we all get a benefit? Sent out a tweet 8 months ago, and we're now up to nearly 400,000 impressions a month through Twitter. It's all grown organically, just word of mouth, and you know, we've got further plans in the pipeline to develop the model. It's been really well responded to by the community. I think one of the key aspects for our growth is about lived experiences. So our blogs are mainly populated, guest blogs, by people who've actually been there and done it, and it's word of mouth. And a lot of it is around, you know, community spirit.
Very interesting there. It will be great to connect with you. And I heard several events will happen around the 10th or 11th of March. And the good thing with that is that you have several events, you can amplify the events together.
Absolutely.
So,
collaboration is the key. I mean, and working as a team. I mean, I think Anna's going to schedule a hackathon as well on the 11th of March, so we'll be able to share what we've actually done at the summit. Because what we want to do is share that best practice, because some of the speakers are some of the best in the NHS. But we have a different approach, because we've got, you know, maternity services are there, but we've also got some people in the business sector, and we're focusing on the next generation. I'll post some links later so that people can get a good idea of what we're doing.
Excellent, excellent. We can take some feedback there, and also I see that Irvin is joining. Hopefully you can hear us, and we can hear you later. But some feedback from the people in the Hangout so far on Garrett's speech.
Does it make sense?
It makes total sense to me.
That's
it's
okay.
Very exciting to follow your work there.
Yeah.
But Irvin, can you hear us? Hello? I don't know if you can hear us. Sometimes it works when you go out and join again. Okay. Maybe some Charles. What so far? Have you got a better sense of the people in the Hangout? Some reflections.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
I'm totally amazed at the range, but I'm also amazed at the excitement, drive, and passion you folks have, realizing that we are against some huge odds. So I'm absolutely delighted, and I want to encourage all of you to keep going in every way possible. We need you, and our great-great-grandchildren need you as well.
Absolutely.
Excellent. So
the odds are actually in favor of us. It's all about the community. Just work locally and it spreads.
Good. Go for it.
That's what we plan to do.
Yeah, what's very encouraging, I looked a lot at the EdCast. We discussed the EdCast platform before, knowledge sharing from San Francisco, and I heard some examples from Canada in the education, how fast they could learn new things. Now I can share the video later with new digital tools in the school, which is used in a balanced way. But what before took years, they could learn in a few months now. So I think personally it's a waste of time often with the old education system that you could make much more use of. So we live in an age of opportunities as well. Can you hear us now, Irvin? No, he disappeared. Hopefully he comes back. So anyone who will would like to give some comment, or I will need to leave here in a few minutes here, but Anna or some other person in the Hangout that would like to continue to facilitate a little bit. I guess there has been people popping in all the time, so I think we have finished the Hangout 3 times already.
Yeah.
I think so too.
I think so. I'm going to have to leave as well. So.
Okay.
Me too, but I can leave the link open, so we stop just broadcasting, and everyone who wants to continue with the conversation can do that.
Yeah, that's a great idea. It's always people who would like to connect, and let's keep the Hangout link open, and people might join in here because it's out in a few groups right now. We shared it in 3-4 places, I think.
Well, that's great.
Perfect.
So we can just let it open here. For you who haven't, I don't know if you have followed before in the evening, or if you just joined recently. Otherwise, you can introduce yourself and self-organized. I think the people I can see in the Hangout now are quite used to social media and doing this stuff. But I will need to go now, so see you later, and I will probably check in half an hour again, but I leave it open here, and otherwise have a nice Happy New Year, and looking forward to connecting 2016 with you. I'm sure we will have projects with the majority of you.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much, and bye from now. All the best for the new year.
Yeah, thanks. Happy New Year, sir. Happy New Year to all of you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Anna, Dr. Bird,
So, talk to you
Jonathan,
soon.
Sapkota, Srihari. I have to go as well because I joined.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Okay, bye. Bye from
Bye. Bye.